Wanted to do a quick review on this Laguna 150-inch carbide tipped resaw blade. I've been using this thing for a couple of days now. I've been wanting to get one of these for a couple of years and finally decided it was time to pony up and stop burning through cheap blades. I have used, I don't know if you can see them here, a lot of cheap bandsaw blades, and these are all from probably in the last, I would say, 2 months, maybe 3 months. So I cut a lot of very hard woods, like this piece of dogwood here, some Osage orange, quite a few other domestic, very hard, very tough woods. And I keep the reason I keep all these other blades laying around is if I want to cut through a piece of soft cedar that may or may not have nails in it, I'll take one of my cheap $20 blades that's burned up, and it'll still cut cedar just fine if you get the tension just right. Anyway, here it is, 150-inch Laguna, I believe it's a Resaw King carbide tipped blade. It's 1.25 inches, and I don't know what the tooth count is. It appears to be roughly 2.5 teeth per inch. They've got sort of an odd tooth pattern. You'll see they've got, figure out where I am, you've got 3 large space gaps, and then a skinny, and then 3 large and a skinny, and then that pattern repeats. I noticed that the other day. I'm not sure if that makes any particular difference, except it's 3 teeth to eat wood and 1 teeth to rake out the dust, possibly, like on a chainsaw. But anyway, I've been using this thing, and I'm getting pretty good results. This is a board I just cut a few minutes ago. This is a fairly wide board, and take into consideration this is one of the hardest woods growing in the U.S., so it's pretty tough stuff to cut, and I'll chalk some of those saw marks up to that, as well as the fact that I've got a rolling table here hooked up to my my Jet 20-inch bandsaw. I've been using this thing for quite a few years. I bought it used, but I haven't had any issues whatsoever. It's probably time to replace the urethane tires on here, but for now it works well. I've never had any kind of a power issue. I did have to replace all of the bearings when I first bought it, and originally the man I bought it from had installed some spacers in place of this center bearing here. He had some steel spacers made in a machine shop, and these things were just eating all to hell. So I took that out, put a new bearing setup in there. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sidetracked on this one. The blade, I really do like this blade. It is, in my opinion, well worth the investment. I'm hoping to use it for quite a long time before I knock too many teeth off of here. And I'm not going to try to cut through any nails with it, even though I'm sure it could do it. I am not going to try to. For nails, I'll just stick with my $17 and $25 blades. And they seem to cut through nails just fine. They obviously get dull, but they cut through them. So, kind of to summarize on this, I'll give you all a cut here in a minute to see just how well it cuts through about 6.5 inches of a very hard wood. But to summarize, I would absolutely buy this again. I love it. The wood is smooth enough and straight enough, and a lot of the straightness has to do with the fact that it's a fairly wide blade. 1.25 inches it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So that's quite a substantial, beefy blade. Nice thick for a bandsaw, nice thick blade. Still a extraordinarily narrow kerf. I think it's a 1/16 of an inch kerf that it removes. I'm going to turn the vacuum on in the background to try to collect as much of this dogwood dust as I can. And I'm not wearing a mask so you all can hear me. Wear your tools, wear your respirators, wear all your personal protective gear. Read the instructions, use your safety gear. All right, here she goes. I'm sorry for the noise, but I'm gonna at least get the dust pulled out. to get the focus for you. If you've seen it catch a few times, that's just in my bandsaw table, not in the bandsaw blade, certainly. There we go. Boy, that is a pretty piece of dogwood. Pretty wet piece of dogwood. I am not sure how these things got as wet as they are. They've been dead for a long time. The ants sure like them. The ants and the wood boring beetles. See if we can wait for this baby to stop rolling. I don't know if you can see that. The blade's got a little bit of a kink to it, or a little bit of a deformation. And by no means do I have this thing tensioned up to where it belongs. Well, those ants are really crawling out of there. I'm going to knock those off here in a minute. Okay, well there you have it. Laguna Resaw King carbide tipped blade. As of this video, it's the only carbide tipped wood cutting blade that I've been able to locate, and I have done a lot of searching. But I'm glad I finally bought one of these things. I'm hoping it lasts me for many years. I'm not going to try to cut any rocks or nails. So, thanks for staying with me. Thanks for watching. If there's another woodworking tool you'd like to see reviewed, I've probably got it somewhere in my workshop, and I'd be more than happy to put a video out for you. Please like and subscribe, and let us know if there's any other ideas you have for you. Thanks for watching.